A new crematorium will not be built, but the one already existing in St. Petersburg will be significantly expanded. This will allow for up to 240 cremations per day. In the face of heavy frontline losses in Ukraine, which, according to Western intelligence, are the highest for Russia since World War II, authorities in St. Petersburg, Russia, have decided to modernize and significantly expand the city's crematorium, making it the largest in Europe. This was reported by the Moscow Times. Currently, there are 14 Czech turbo ovens in operation. After the renovation, there will be 20 of them capable of performing up to 240 cremations per day. According to data on the Russian government procurement website, the development of the facility's renovation project alone cost 207 million rubles. 2 cremulators, equipment that grind cremated remains into fine powder, will also be purchased. Additionally, plans include expanding the main building of the crematorium, which opened in 1973, creating a new cremation facility, purchasing additional refrigeration chambers for storing bodies, installing several new funeral halls with hydraulic coffin lifts, and renovating the hall's skylights. The project also includes the creation of a one-stop shop for arranging services and the renovation of utility systems and halls. The entrance to the complex, which covers 82,000 square meters, including a garage, warehouses, and 2 swimming pools, will be equipped with screening stations where coffins will be x-rayed, and fountains. This particular crematorium in St. Petersburg made news during the coronavirus pandemic in 2021. At the time, as Focus reported, a line of coffins had formed there. With the onset of the Russian army's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the situation only worsened. As a reminder, August 2025 was the easiest month for the Russian army, with losses amounting to only about 30,000. This is attributed to a change in tactics. And in June, the millionth occupier died in the war in Ukraine. The HUR revealed his identity. Most likely, he was a serviceman from the Pacific Marine Corps of the Russian Armed Forces, and he came from Kamchatka. Mashanenkov Sergei Nikolaevich, born in 1978, native of the Kamchatka Territory, serviceman of the Pacific Marine Corps of the Russian Armed Forces. HUR reported. Interestingly, the distance from Kamchatka to Ukraine is approximately 7,000 to 8,000 kilometers, depending on specific points in Kamchatka and Ukraine. Thanks to the coordinated actions of all units of the security and defense forces of Ukraine, enemy losses in Ukraine have become massive and systemic. Military intelligence officers continue to methodically identify, locate, and eliminate anyone who has come to our land with weapons, the soldiers reported.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer said on Tuesday that Britain faces a stark choice between decency and division as he attempts to reset his government and stem the rising popularity of the hard-right party Reform UK. According to Associated Press, Starmer told his centre-left Labour Party that Britain faces a fight for the soul of our country as he tries to overcome dire approval ratings, a sluggish economy, and the challenge posed by Reform's divisive leader, Nigel Farage. Britain stands at a fork in the road. We can choose decency or we can choose division. Renewal or decline, Starmer told hundreds of lawmakers and Labour members at the party conference in Liverpool. Since Labour won a landslide election victory in July 2024, its popularity has plummeted. The party promised economic growth, but has struggled to deliver. Inflation remains stubbornly high and the economic outlook subdued, frustrating efforts to repair tattered public services and ease the cost of living. Against that gloomy backdrop, Labour's annual conference, motto, Renew Britain, has been dominated by conversations about how to fight reform. Farage's party has topped opinion polls for months, ahead of both Labour and the main opposition Conservatives, despite holding just 5 of the 650 seats in the House of Commons. Farage's anti-establishment, anti-immigration message, with its echoes of Trump's MAGA movement, has homed in on the issue of thousands of migrants in small boats arriving in Britain across the English Channel. More than 30,000 people have made the dangerous crossing from France so far this year despite efforts by authorities in Britain, France and other countries to crack down on people smuggling gangs. The government doesn't have to call an election until 2029, but already some Labour members are talking about replacing Starmer, especially if the party takes a hammering in local and regional elections in May.
We can all see that the country faces a choice, a defining choice. Britain stands at a fork in the road. We can choose decency, or we can choose division, renewal or decline. A country proud of its values, in control of its future, or one that succumbs against the grain of our history to the politics of grievance. It is a test, a fight for the soul of our country, every bit as big as rebuilding Britain after the war, and we must all rise to this challenge. Yet we need to be clear that our path, the path of renewal, it's long, it's difficult, it requires decisions that are not cost-free or easy, decisions that will not always be comfortable for our party. Yet at the end of this hard road, there will be a new country, a fairer country, a land of dignity and respect. Everyone seeks, everyone values, wealth creation in every single community, working people in control of their public services, the mindless bureaucracy that chokes enterprise removed so we can build and keep building. Clean British energy powering our homes, technology harnessed to drive us forward. Our flags flying proudly as we celebrate difference and oppose racism. And conference, I welcome the new US initiative to bring peace to the Middle East. I strongly support efforts to end the fighting, release every hostage, and urgently scale up aid into Gaza. All sides must now come together to bring this initiative into reality, because we must restart the hope of a two-state solution, a safe and secure Israel, alongside the long-promised Palestinian state, a state that this country now recognises. A land of dignity and respect, everyone seeks. When was the last time that you heard Nigel Farage say anything positive about Britain's future? He can't. He doesn't like Britain, doesn't believe in Britain, wants you to doubt it just as much as he does. So he resorts to grievance. They all do. They want to turn this country, this proud, self-reliant country, into a competition of victims, saying to you, to working people, don't trust in each other. You can't fix this. This is not a great country. But it is, conference. It is a great country. It will always be a great country. A decent, pragmatic, tolerant, reasonable country that throughout history has stood its ground, stuck by its values, and built its future without fuss. That's the Britain I'm fighting for, conference. A nation of resolve, a land of respect, a Britain built for all.